Welcome to Pashua's Moment with Pastor Charles Kiyaga.
We want to thank God for giving us an opportunity to talk again. I welcome you from the weekend, and we thank God for your lives, whichever the state, whichever the situation. One thing is that if you are still joined with the living, there is still hope. So we are here again to talk about this intriguing message of seeking after God. Your servant, as always, I'm Pastor Charles, and I'm standing on your site, Zion Pashua's Prayer Mountain, to talk about this message of seeking after God. Last week we ended by seeing the story of Lot being saved from the city of Sodom, and this was because of the intercession that Abraham did. Okay, the intercession that Abraham did. And that was Genesis verses 22, when the angels accepted and they said, we do accept this. Hurry, escape there, for I cannot do anything until you arrive there. Therefore the name of the city was called Zoar. And the sun was risen upon the earth when he entered Zoar. Then the Lord rained brimstone and fire on Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord out of the heavens. So he overthrew these cities, all the plains, all the inhabitants of the city, and what grew on the ground. Okay? So what we are saying is, if it were not the intercession of Abraham, it would have been very unlikely that Lot would be saved. Okay? But Lot was saved. He saw favor because of the intercession of Abraham. Verses 26, but his wife looked back behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. Remember, the sons-in-law of Lot, when Lot went to them, they thought he was joking. This is because the intercession, I think, when Abraham was interceding, didn't include them. So they could not make sense of what Lot was saying. They thought he was joking. And then now the wife had been helped by the angels, pulled out of the city. But she looked behind. When the cities were burning, she looked back. And all of a sudden, she became a pillar of salt. And I believe it was still, because these were inhabitants of the city, they were indigenous from that city. Lot and his wives and his children were visitors. They are people who went to that city, but these people were indigenous of the city. So eventually, even the wife did not make it. But Lot and his two daughters, they are the ones who survived. And I believe the reason they survived is because of the prayer of Abraham. It's because of the intercession of Abraham. Very important for us to know that by the fact that we are connected to those families we come from, we should know we bear responsibility. We should provide shelter. We should shield them from the storms by crying to God before them. And somehow prayer can do what we can't do. Okay? What we can't do, prayer can do it. So the lady, even when the angels said, don't look back, I think she imagined the angels did not it didn't make sense for her not to look back. But if the prayer had touched that woman, probably she would be saved. But the daughters, and Lot himself, they did survive. And Abraham went early in the morning to the place where he had stood before the Lord. Then he looked towards Sodom and Gomorrah, and towards all the land of the plain, and he saw. And behold, the smoke of the land which went up was like a smoke of furnace. So Abraham went back and he saw the city had been burnt completely. But at least his prayer was able to save his own kin. He was able to save his cousin, his nephew, and the daughters. So my brother, my sister, it would have hurt Abraham so badly in case he had not prayed. So if we don't pray and our families are devastated, are destroyed, are decimated, I don't think it is gonna make anything easier for us. We need to intercede. And I call you to join the ranks of intercession, not only for yourself, for your family, for your own, for your generation, for your church, for the people that are connected to you, whether in your community. It is your responsibility to bring them to God in prayer.
Eyo yebadde Pursuers Moment ng'ekutusiddwako essomero lya Pursuers Junior School erisangibwa mu Butambala ku kkubo lya Mpigi Gombe. Kati wulira enkizo eriwo singa otwala omwana wo ku Pursuers Junior School. Interviews za bwereere. Essomero liyimiridde ku musingi ogutya Katonda ate ng'omwana agonjulwa bakugu. Tutumbula ebitone eby'enjawulo mu mwana. Tulina amazzi amayonjo ku ssomero ate ng'omwana wasomera ne weyeebaka abanga mukungu. Endya y'abayizi nnungi byansusso anti emmere tugyerimira nga ne faamu y'ente weeri ku ssomero. Tulina emmotoka ezitambuza abaana. Pursuers Junior School e Butambala tusomesa abaana okuva mu baby class okutuuka ku kibiina ekyomusanvu mu Dene boarding. Okumanya ebisingawo 0772 41 98 4 ne 0702 36 41 64. Pursuers Junior School Butambala, in pursuit of knowledge.